Alrighty, happy Thursday. I think today is going to be a phenomenal cut and chat for you guys. For those of you that are new with us, I know we have a couple people, hi everyone, that are probably new from the giveaway. This is their first cut and chat. If this is your first cut and chat, you want to put a me in the chat? That way I can get a feel. Yeah, Zeke stepped out real quick. You guys are so funny. I'm sure we have a couple. Yeah, Ed is new. I'm sure we have a couple people who are new here. Thursdays is our designated night. Well, welcome in. For cut and chat. So we do educational stuff in our lab here. Our lab is set up with just about every piece of Highland Park equipment. If there is a piece in here, or if there is rather, if there is a piece that we don't have in here, it's probably because it got sold out of the lab. But we do demos on a lot of that. And we're gonna be adding in more cut and chats as we get more people in here, aka Cody, but I see him hopping in the Tacoma, I think. Yeah. Hi, Cody. Um, so yeah, tonight, essentially, yeah, John. Tonight we're gonna be doing high dome cabochons and ringstone cabs, which I think is going to be an awesome topic for you guys. What we're going to be doing it with is kind of translucent materials. So I think Zeke might be doing Blue Cal Sydney, and it looks like he has a piece of maybe jade here, but he does. I can't place my finger on where I know Ed from, but I know him from somewhere. I'll figure it out. But we're gonna have fun tonight. Oh, Zeke just walked back in. He had to walk up to the parts warehouse for something, but looks like he got it. And he grabbed a canvas sheet, so we might be demonstrating the milk and diamond, possibly, because we do have milk now. Hold on, I'm gonna unmute you. Go ahead, Zeke.
Not only are we going to do milk and diamond, we're going to make a polishing wheel with y'all tonight.
Oh,
So
that's right.
that's why I was like, I have to run to 26.
Did you bring all the stuff in?
Yeah, yeah, got all the stuff.
Oh, awesome. I forgot that we said we were
Neopre
gonna do that.
yeah, neoprene in the toolbox, contact cement over there by the tumblers. We're gonna pull the leather off that pad, do it like you're doing it at home. And so
Oh,
we're gonna have
that'll be
fun. Let's
fun.
actually start with that. Because that way, in a couple hours when the contact cement is dry, we can use it. I do need the table space.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, you do. Well, it's nice that it's actually clean, so you can use the table space.
I know. I was looking at that. I was like, gosh dang, we actually have a table to use. How y'all doing tonight?
Thanks to me.
Right, Jack. Little, if it gets a little interesting tonight, it's the fumes.
Cut and chats kind of get silly.
They're
I
either
like it
like
though.
super focused or wee all over the place.
I know. I do love it.
All right. I'll pin up my camera and we'll get our supplies together here. Thank you, Amazon, for the neoprene. I'm gonna grab the contact cement. We just glued down carpet and the R1M. So that's why I was like, ooh, I got contact cement.
Perfect.
All right. And then this is one of the polishing assemblies where you got the leather on here. And the leather we can still put back on if we choose to at a later time. So I wouldn't throw it away. Nice and sticky. But we can just peel that off. And now we got a fresh backer to start using. Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, I was trying to peel it so I got a little bit of the residue on there as possible, but we still got some. Well, any leather really will work, and you can see this is the smooth side of the leather on the backer, and then this is the leathery side, the rough side of the leather. Um, but when you're picking out leather, pretty much any leather will work. But I've been told that elk um, hide works the best. I don't know who came to this conclusion, who tested all the different kinds of leathers to make this conclusion. That's just what I've heard old timers say. So it sounds like we need to do a video polishing, 50 different cabs on different leather. Um, but that's always what I've been told. The reality of it is I don't think it really makes that much of a difference. Maybe unless you're doing gemstones or something, but so
Oh,
maybe it does make a
interesting.
difference. All right.
Did you see
That actually
did you
that wasn't too
see what
bad.
Jeremiah said?
Uh-uh.
It said deer leather gives you better grip than cow leather, works better using the splitting maul.
Huh. We got acetone around here. If Tay didn't use all of it.
Oh, for her sphere.
I think she went through, well, yeah, she used a bin that was way too big, so had to fill the thing up.
Is it an aluminum backer or steel?
That's aluminum. Oh, you know where it's going to be? In the one place I'll never find it, in the cabinet where it should now belong. The cabinet
Who
that I,
said
in
it?
fact, installed. It's where I'm likely to never find it. I don't know if we
Yeah.
sell the backer plate without the leather.
I'm pretty sure we do. It's a CB8 flat lap backer plate, I think. Let me see the
Oh,
Hold on. Don't quote me on that. Let me get you guys a skew, but I know it's on back order at the moment because, oh, of course I just X'd out of the tab that I need. Oh, my
I was like,
Lanta.
well, if I would have known that, I wouldn't have peeled the leather off this one.
Well, you know what? It's a good show and tell, and I haven't told you that for a while because I knew you'd want one.
Oh Lord,
What? I know you well. I'm pretty sure we do. Let me get you guys a skew. Let me see.
I thought we only sold it with the leather, which is why doing it with one of the leather ones. Make that all nice and clean. Let's open up our neoprene. We'll see if this neoprene is sticky enough for my liking. It's supposed to have a sticky side, but if it's not like really sticky, then I'm still gonna add contact cement. Jordan.
That's hilarious, Jack. We do. It does have the hole in it. Let me see. Yeah, the skew. Here's the skew. I don't have any on hand at the moment.
This is I picked 1/8 inch, but 1/4 inch will also work beautifully. I think most people probably use 1/4 inch. This feels kind of soft for neoprene. Let's see how sticky this is. That's not bad. All right. Well, it's worse if I tear it. And I will definitely advise anytime you're doing this, you are increasing, when you do this at home, you're increasing the risk of having one of these discs fly off. So use good adhesive to make them stick. Yeah. Don't want it to be all lumped up. Want it to be nice and flat. Move the camera over.
That is what I'm checking right now, Keith. I don't believe that off that don't quote me on it. Off the top of my head, I don't think it comes with the screw.
The one with the hole in it.
Yeah. I think what do you need? The flange for that one? The INT flange?
Yeah. INT flange. All right. Now we'll take the blade and cut up right against it. And this way we can also use our backer as a template.
Yeah, and we sell both of those too. If you prefer it on the left-hand side, we have a left-hand screw for it, and we also sell the right hand too. But I know it's hard for people to find those left-hand ones. Zeke is making his own polishing assembly, right? Polishing assembly for that backer
Yep.
plate.
Yep. This will be a milk and diamond polishing one. Got a little bit, it tore a little bit right here. So I should have used a sharper blade. This one's been through it a little bit. Let's see if the other side's newer. Yeah, I need to change the blade out. But
Yes,
it's
Michael.
just that easy.
It is just that easy.
All right. Now let's do the same thing with our canvas. Well, we're putting neoprene on there so that we have a cushy backing so that we can stick our canvas on there. And team, why don't you take note of that part number for if people want a sheet of canvas to do this? Let's see. Let me swap the blade out and I'm gonna put a sharper blade on there to cut that canvas. And you could do this with leather or fell, or I've done this with jeans before. Done it, gone to the thrift store and found old jackets that were nice material. So it's kind of a handy thing to be able to make your own um, wheel for doing your polish. All right. Oh, wash that off a little bit.
I like the red and black together.
Yeah, it does look nice. Oh, and of course, this is a used bottle of contact cement, which means that it does not open in true contact cement fashion. I don't know that I've ever had one of these little containers that I used twice and didn't have to use pliers to open it the second time.
Exactly, Ed. Right, Kent?
These are about the best pliers you can get. So the Nitpicks Cobras. I love these things. All
The
right.
part number for the CB6 backer plate. Let me see.
I'm trying to get it all the way up to the edge so that I don't. I should have opened the canvas first.
Looks like it only comes as a right hand backer plate for the 6-inch cab.
And if you guys ever have, a polishing pad come off, you could do the same kind of thing to put it back on.
Oh my goodness, Seek, you know what I had for dinner?
What?
Pork chops and applesauce. Thought of you the whole time.
That's hilarious. As separate entities, those are great. I can't get behind putting them together. All right. I definitely put a little too much on there because I definitely did not want it to come through the pad like that. So
Could you have
take
used
note,
Oop, go ahead.
lighter layer. That's all I was gonna say. Could you use what?
Spray cement successfully for this.
Yeah, as long as you just got enough working time to this one. I actually don't know it's gonna work because I got so much contact cement through the um, canvas that we're gonna be polishing on a layer of contact cement. Let's see. Let me wash my hands. Worst case scenario, we can always just put another layer of canvas over the top of it.
Will the cement wear off with use?
No, because we put it on the other side and pushed it all the way through. I just shouldn't have put such thick globs on there. And someone just gave me a great idea to use the wax paper when I put this face down and not try to glue it to the bench. Because John and Sherman would not be amused if they came in here and find down that there's a polishing plate that was not removable from the bench.
He wouldn't want that as like a centerpiece.
All right. But gosh dang, if I moved it over just a tad bit more, we probably could. Well, we still might be able to.
Is this helpful for you guys? Nice.
Yeah, so you can see all that that's gooping through. See if I got enough to do. Oh, we can do another layer on here.
Would letting it cure for 5 minutes prior to putting the canvas on keep the glue from bleeding on or from bleeding through?
It probably would because it gets rubbery and thicker as you wait. I'm gonna just try doing just another lighter layer on here.
You never know it. Is there sweat developing on Zeke's brow? Zeke, you want to look at me real quick? No, he looks pretty dry. Define light, Zeke.
Mm, Light enough that it's trying not to let it dry before I stick the next sheet on, but not so thick that it's gonna goop through.
You guys are hilarious. I love it. So this is meant to be permanent on this backing plate.
Just like the leather, I mean, it's about as permanent as that. So if you ever were like, yeah, I don't like this, or I want to make a new one, you just peel it off. I mean, it's not gonna be like, I mean, it takes a little effort to peel it off, but yes, you can just take it off when you're done. Or just if you decide you want
Why,
something else.
why don't, oops, sorry. I have to scroll back up. I lost the comment. Why don't these wheels come with padding, or is that a different option? You get a couple different options for the backer plates, right?
Yeah, there's a couple different options. And again, you could do the same thing with leather where you added a backing to it. It depends on what I'm polishing, but most of the time I like to have, let's see if I got enough on there. I like to have a backing on there, a little bit cushier. We're gonna take that, flip it over, and we'll give it a couple minutes. And if it doesn't stick, then we can add just a little bit more on there.
Hey, Kim.
Yeah, we definitely did not get enough this time. As you can see, it's not. It should stick pretty close to instant, where it stays on. See if we can do a little bit. Having a spray can might also help some people, especially if you're like me, who tend to be heavy-handed with such things like contact cement. Contact. I definitely did not build plastic models as a kid. I had zero patience for that.
Hey, Brad.
Yeah, definitely. I like the spray stuff more. Um, as I think it sticks a little bit easier. But that would be the process right there. And then the same thing as this one, we could flip it over and cut our excess off. Yeah, that's always what I used to get was the 3M spray. This is what Sherman buys. I'm not a fan, but we'll stick that out of the way. And now let me. Oh, yay, thank you. Let me wash this goop off my hands and let me make some cabs. Unfortunately, I already have a prettier canvas wheel, so we can still do the milk and diamond. I was hoping to use that one tonight, but I think that one's a little too goopy. This is also a pretty similar process, though. When you go to refurbish the wet belt sander, the drum on there, where you put a strip of neoprene on there. If you ever gouge it or tear it, you can um, peel it off and do the same kind of thing where you put a strip of the neoprene on there. Although when I did mine, because I'd wear mine out occasionally, from like catching a rock into the foam, I just find the right width. Yeah, rubber cement might have worked better. That definitely was not the stuff that I've used before. I used to use the stuff in like the spray can. It was a 3M can. Let's see. Oh, show you guys some of the stones that we picked out for tonight. Of course, I got no water here. This is a really nice piece of jade. Hmm, I've never done that before. I'm also not an adhesives expert. There we go. I felt like, well, you guys got the general idea, so I'm sure you can watch some better videos on how to use the adhesive. But there's a really nice piece of jade. I'll take you guys over here to the saws and show you what we cut up. Oh, feels good to sit down, run around all day. That's hilarious, Cynthia. I don't know that I could have tolerated having that much glue on my hands. That is also a good idea, Ed. For the high domes, it depends on the size of the cab, how thick you want to do it. I did these, but most of the slabs that we're going to cut tonight, I did between 10 and 12 turns on the handle. I've never tried it, Michael, but that's out of that Mozambique cabbing and tumbling. I walked by that bin earlier and saw that color, and then I was like, "Good grief, we got to cut that." We'll make a few cabs tonight. And then here's a piece of the dendritic opal, and I already can tell that that tree right there is exactly the cab we're gonna make. That is great. That's a good point. When you're doing a high dome cab, well, for as the cutter, the biggest reason to do a high dome cab is it enhances the color of the stone. So when you cut a high dome cab, you're giving more thickness to allowing the light bounce through and create a better color in there. This one I just cut for doing a ringstone. This one does not have to be thick. Because you can still do a ringstone that's not thick. Depends on the style of jewelry you're cutting. But it is also a different way of setting stones. If they're cut thin versus thick versus um oh, I did cut this Brazilian agate a little on the thicker side in case we want to do something with that. But I'll show you guys this one too. This is also that Sumatra agate that we were cutting up. I do love that slab. That's a beautiful agate. What was I saying? Oh, so it depends on the style that you want and the outcome. High dome cabs are also, if they're done with a good material, are also generally considered higher end. Oh, didn't set the chain quite long enough on this one. Look at that purple. Isn't that fun? And the reason, if you guys notice the stones I picked, most of them are like semi-translucent agates. And the reason for that is they do some of the best in cutting a thick cab. In fact, we're actually going to cut a standard slab off of this so you guys can compare. But would help
There
if
you
I
go.
unlocked the carriage.
Ivan, I put the process in I replied to your thing with the process written out so you can copy and paste it. Yeah, honestly, sometimes I just toss it around the quick storm and I can leave it for 15, 20 minutes and I'll go back and wash it. But what'll make up for it is when you're really scrubbing with the Dawn dish soap. I always use the toothbrush for washing the slabs. And I do it in a circular motion. Make sure you get all the way around like the outside edges because that's the part that I tend to forget about a little bit. That's a nice piece of blue chalcedony. But just make sure it's buried all
And
the way around.
this is a good example too of a stone that would be kind of more gray without um the extra thickness there. I mean, you can see that's a pretty thick slab. So we'll do a pretty high dome with that. Let's take another standard thickness slab off this so you guys can see the comparison. Oh, 7 turns on there. Oh, I'm excited. I do love doing these little high domes. The wet belt sander is actually, this is a 24-inch saw. The wet belt sander is actually a really good tool for getting the scratches out. We'll show that. All right, let me go wash my hand. Actually, let's grab a slab. Which one do you guys want to start with? There was that jade, purple chalcedony, dendritic opal, the Mozambique. Oh, I kind of want to start with the Mozambique.
Oh, for those, I know a couple of you guys, you got 3 votes for Jabe.
No,
The
okay.
I saw someone ask, I responded up top. The wet belt sanders are due at the end of June. They'll hit Boston Port.
All right. Well, I saw a lot for the dendritic opal and a lot for the jade.
Yeah, that wet belt sander's awesome. Oh, that's
This
pretty.
one, this one, we can't do too high of a dome on because the tree is right there at the top. So I'll be very careful with that one. Let me go wash this slab and then we'll head over to the trim saw. That is going to be such a nice cab. I really do like this dendritic opal. I was kind of surprised that everybody wasn't going nuts on it the other night when we were looking at it. 'Cause I'm like, this stuff's just so good. Ooh. Well, right there where that fracture was, it broke.
Hmm.
That's a little closer than I'd like to that tree. You know what else I did today?
What?
I pulled out some more condors,
Oh, snap. That's fun.
and including one out of John's spearing stash that's like, I don't know, 20 pounds.
What grade of Condor were you grading? Got the hiccups.
I got all three.
Nice.
This dendritic opal is pretty fantastic. You can see it already broke where that fracture was, but we're still okay on the tree. This is going to be a little bit
On
of a,
go ahead.
I would say this would be a little bit of an untraditional high dome because we don't want to grind the tree out.
So those little saws that you guys were staring at, I believe were the Model 12s, the Model 12 Precision. The one that was green is Tay's Saw Petunia. Is that actually like a 10-inch? Yeah, that's actually a 10-inch saw was that one, that green one. The ones that were in the stainless though are 12-inch saws. It's the saw John designed to use for cutting agates. And then on the tables next to those is an HT12 in stainless steel and an HT14 in stainless steel. But all these standing ones have the vertical vices. The high tone series saws, which are your tabletop saws, come with the vertical vices with the little
Horizontal.
butterfly. Oh, horizontal. Sorry, I have them backwards. Um, the horizontal vices with the little wing nuts, or as I like to call them, butterfly nuts.
All right. Yeah, plenty of water flowing.
Can you get a different vise for the 12-inch precision saw?
Um, I don't think so.
I think it's just the one right now, right?
It's a shorter saw, so there's not as much space to put a bigger vise.
I don't believe so. We don't put any water coolant in the saws when we're using water, right?
We don't put anything in the water other than Dawn dish soap. Occasionally, I'll put a drop of dish soap in there, give it a little bit better lubricity.
I love that word. Yep, a 14-inch stainless steel slab saw. The table, oh my goodness, sorry, I can't talk. Tabletop one. Would laundry detergent work? See, like a drop of that.
Probably would.
Yeah, I
I've never
don't.
tried it.
Okay.
I've never tried. I've only ever used Dawn dish soap.
Yeah, I don't know that they've gotten them on the those on the website yet because every time we get a couple, they sell right out and they're kind of um custom made. Like John doesn't make a bunch of them.
Which ones?
The HT14 SS.
Yeah, I think we'll get to where we make more in stainless steel, but
Yeah. I think the only let me see what's on the website. It
they're
also
also that's
depends.
one of the
They're
most
redoing the
popular
website.
saws because it's budget friendly. All right, this is going to be a little bit of an untraditional high dome. because we want to preserve the tree. So I'm gonna dome as high as I can up to the tree and then try to just barely touch the tree at all when I'm grinding. So we'll just start like we're doing a normal cab and we'll get our shape in.
That's funny, Ed.
Yeah, we could build a saw like that with a square rail. It just adds to the cost. And that's the big upside to the HT saws is that they're, a great slab saw that's budget friendly.
Hey, Stevie.
Gosh dang, I already love this cab. All right. Well, we can't do too high of a dome because we also have the base of the tree there. But I'm gonna start by working at the bevel at a steep angle there. This should be about a 45-degree angle to the side and bottom there.
Team, did you figure out how people can fix their names on the Zoom app? And you want to fix Stevie's name, please, team.
Got
Thank
it,
you.
Jordan.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
And this one I'm kind of cheating and using the space around the tree to create the dome, and then it's still going to be fairly shallow on the top
Let
because we want
me.
to preserve as much as possible.
Oh, my Lanza. I'm breaking things over here.
Oh gosh, this is such a nice cab. I feel like I'm too far away for you guys to actually really see. Let's adjust the legs on this a little bit. Okay, maybe not that much.
We did, yes. Who won that team? They got 2 pounds of Gambari. Oh my gulai.
Ooh, well, that wasn't good. Depends on what I'm doing. Somebody's been playing with this tripod again. Sorry, I'm trying to get you guys a little bit closer, right? Motion sick here. So you can see my hands better. All right, there we go. We're gonna go with all that glue that I was smelling.
Somebody, aka the person that uses it.
I didn't do that to the legs. I don't like when they're in that position. With high domes as well, you also don't usually leave much of a girdle because you got that bottom edge that holds your cab. So generally with a high dome cab, you're gonna dome all the way to the bottom. I still like to leave a little bit of a girdle. I do like how that's turning out. And get that nice green color in there.
What grit are you on now? Is that 80?
This is, yeah, 80 grit.
I'm gonna learn the wheels one day.
All right, that was plenty for 80 grit. So I don't want to take off too much.
If you have softer material, can you skip 80?
Yep. Yeah, a lot of time I'm skipping 80 and going to 220. Or even if the material is like something that's prone to chipping, even if it's not soft, I'll still go to 220.
Nice. Oh, that's exciting.
Just refining the shape a little bit more. I don't totally love the shape.
Why?
It was just a little too lumpy. And so I'm just getting it, now that we're finer and finer on the grits, getting it smoothed out a little bit. See how it looks a little bit more symmetrical. I don't
Oh,
want it to
yeah.
look like an off round, so I'm just not going to make it too round, but I also don't want it to look, I kind of want it a little bit like flat on the bottom, just like that.
I like it.
Sometimes you can also look at the back of your cab to get a better idea of the shape when you're doing a high dome like this, because that back edge is going to be the silhouette of what you're looking at. And so sometimes if you're looking at the top, you can go, well, it looks nice. And then you'll get done. And you'll be like, it looks lumpy. That's because your back edge isn't as smooth as or this bottom edge. Uh,
Team, you want to post the link to register for the May giveaway, please? Exactly, Ed. Thank you so much. We are giving away, thank you, Kimmy, a 10-inch trim saw, which is probably our most popular machine, period. So we're giving that away first. That'll be on, sorry, on May 16th, and then we're giving away an HT12 slab saw, which will be announced on May 30th. So you have until May 15th to register for the 10 TSS, and you have till May 29th to register for the HT12.
Man, I love this cab. Definitely not what I was expecting to do tonight, but that's killer. We'll make a few more cabs though, so it's okay. This
Zeke,
is
if you were
when
gonna, go ahead.
if you're um on the higher domes, you definitely need to work a lot more on your softer wheels to get all those little flat spots out.
What type of setting will this cab go into if you had to choose, Zeke?
Um, if I was gonna pick this for a piece of jewelry, I would probably do just a simple. There's two ways I would set this. I would either do a four prong setting, so it's got prongs like that with just a frame backing. Um, or I would do a smooth bezel that went up, you know, about that far onto the stone all the way around.
Just curious, Zeke. It looks like the dendritic tree was also visible at some depth. Would you attempt a higher dome to bring out the deeper limbs?
No, because you can already see the tree's gotten smaller as we started to work it, and the base of the tree is dissipating. So it's already going to be too fine. I would wish I would have moved it over one more turn on the slab saw, actually. Because you'll still see the depth back there.
What would you price this cab at, Zeke, if you were to just sell it at a show?
Um, a nice dendritic cab like that probably would put 75, $80 on that cab. And if you figure that piece of rough that I put in the saw was probably like $25. You'll be doing pretty good.
If I
Oh
could
yeah,
go, oop, go ahead, Zeke.
I would say I wouldn't wear this in a bow tie. It's too small.
That's a good question. Hold on. Let me look up game show so I can get my answer. Would that price be without any setting or with a setting?
That's just for the loose stone.
I don't know. I love Jeopardy.
Zeke Cassie is asking, what is the grit or for each wheel on your machine that you would
Uh,
recommend?
well, what we're using tonight is just a standard setup of the 80, 220 on the hard wheels, then 280, 600, 1200, 3000. On the cab, on like when I usually set up the machine, um, I'll have an expanding drum, then a 80 grit and a 220 grit, and then, the rest of the wheels are the same.
Why is this cab worth so much more than the $10 ones on Monday?
The $10 ones on Monday are just stupidly cheap. Honestly, the reality of it is I wouldn't say it's really necessarily any more valuable. It's just about desire, and I know that if I'm cutting it, it's going to be a much higher price because I'd never cut a cab that cheap.
What grit do you put on your expanding drum? I like the 220 belt.
Yeah, 220 is really good. Really, any of those cabs that we sell on Monday, if I had cut them, would be a much higher price.
Exactly, Jack.
And they're good cuts too.
80, 220, 280. Let me see. The standard set of wheels. It comes standard on the C installed on the CB6 already too, Kathy. Let me see. And 3,000.
Did you get a CB6, Kathy? I know everybody's thinking, man, I should have got another one of those cab deals.
Not yet. You've got an ancient bad one. Well, we can help you upgrade to a new good one. What is the difference in the grinding wheels, sintered, resonant, etc.? That's a really good question, Zeke.
Your plated wheels are your 80 and 220 that are standard on most machines. And this applies for pretty much everybody's wheels. This is not exclusive to ours. Those are your metal backed. That's where you're going to do your shaping and grinding. Um, but it's just a single layer on there. The centered wheels are essentially the same thing, but like a diamond blade, the diamond goes all the way through. That's what centered is part that it gives there. Um, so you get on ours are the by far the thickest that you on the market with 7 millimeters of diamond segment that you can grind with. So for most people, they'll last the rest of their lives. People that cut regularly that use the centered wheels, I've been told it takes them 10 to 15 years to wear out a set. And honestly, the one that's on the 80 grit that's on the cab machine over there, it looks just about brand new still. And I've been using that for a couple years now, and I'm hard on wheels.
Are you continuing to shape or are you getting scratches out that you see?
I'm what I'm working on now is trying to get rid of as many of the little flat spots as possible. That's where your guys will all really struggle with high dumps, is removing all the little tiny flat spots. Um, yeah, you can see little flat spots where it's not perfectly flat or perfectly smooth. And then resin wheels are have a foam backing so that you can push into them and get uh your smooth effect because you're never going to get a total smoothness on a dome with a hard wheel.
How were your strawberries, Zachary?
Very good. I like having a cup of strawberries and oranges. My go Shelly.
Chantel has been the epitome of a warehouse mom lately. She has been bringing in fruit salad for everybody and all that stuff. Yes, Wheels. Yes, Lizelle. How often do you replace the felt, Zeke?
Well, we just replaced ours for the first time in 2 years.
Oh, you did it. I didn't even have to remind you.
Yeah, I was shooting a cabbing video and I was looking at the video going, yeah, Tay and John are not going to be happy with that video. Um, with the felt all worn through. Hey, Jordan, will you go grab one of the more traditionally cut cabs where we do a shallow dome so we can show people the difference when I'm done with this one?
Yes.
Thank you.
Are you talking about like any cab or like a translucent or
I don't care what kind you grab, just as long as it's a more traditional cut.
you got it? I'm very thankful I have my two sisters now because Kat's home from school. So Kat spent all day cleaning my apartment. She was being a good sister.
Oh, that's nice. The CB8 and CB6 are different because the CB8 was designed first, and years later, the CB6 came out with all of the feedback and improvements and updates. And John's slowly working on updating the CB6. I mean, the CB8. But the CB6 had a couple of years of improvements to be put into it.
All set.
Thank you.
Of course. Yes, we do sell the felt. I can get you a part number if you need. Water has stopped. Cat is such a sweetheart. And I have a diagram for any of you guys that want to um add an expanding drum to your CB6. I do have a diagram. All you need is the spacer kit um to adequately space the wheels, but I have that from when Zeke set it up if you guys need that. Water has stopped flowing on my CB6 over the expanding wheel, but the water is coming out of the needle valve. What is the best way to clear a suspected blockage?
Oh, well, you can. My least favorite way is just put your mouth on the hose and blow. Um, a little less sanitary. I prefer if you got an air compressor, you can stick the tip of the air compressor on there and blow it out.
Alrighty. As the longer straight across felt. Like the CB6 was part number on the CB8. All right. Team, you want to mark down, put a separate tab in our thread of people who need that diagram, and I can go through that and get that done for you guys. Let me see. Keith wants that diagram for the CB6 team. Daniel wants one team. Is the felt supposed to be touching the wheels, or how far off if it's not?
I like it so it's touching the wheels. You can have it so it's just barely grazing them. But like when I installed the felt on here, I took it and folded it in half so it was pressing into the wheels. Took it, folded it, and then installed it so it was just sitting normal, but it has a little bit more tension into the wheels.
Yeah, I only see them as little squares for the felt for the CB8. I don't see
Yeah, it
the
only comes
long,
as little. It
yeah, I
doesn't
don't see
come
it
in
as
long
that long.
strips.
Oh, we didn't do a spin yet.
We'll cut a more traditional high dome after this one. This one, you just had to preserve that tree. Honestly, I kind of wish I didn't do this one for the high dome because it would have been a much better cab without the high doming. Do you have a CB8 that came with a long strip on there? Like a strip all the way across? Huh, that's got
Hmm.
to be new. Might be the same as the CB6 then. Well, no, it'd have to be longer.
Are the attachments for the single versus the strip different?
No, it's the same attachment point. Well, as far as I know, John has not designed it for the CB8. But the attachment, the way it attaches to the machine is different from the CB6 versus the CB8. But theoretically, there's no reason that you couldn't use the CB8 attachment point to just put one piece of felt on there.
No acetone, that's funny.
That's hilarious. You know what happened to the Dot Pro kit?
It is underneath in the bin that I showed you.
I don't remember you showing me, but I do remember you telling me.
I believe it's right underneath you. I'm pretty sure. Maybe near the templates. That's where I
It
put
is.
it. Okay. Yes, I put a holder so the putty knife is in there. There's a light and a ruler in the holder on the table. Underneath, I hung the templates up, and there's a bucket for the Dot Pro kit and the attachments.
Well, that's just crazy enough.
I know organization is a wild concept sometimes. I get it. What?
Yeah, your face.
You're kind of muffled.
I'm muffled.
You were just like for a little bit there.
One of the things I don't know if you guys noticed as I'm working here, I'm kind of doing small dome, little, like I'm working a dome all around the piece to try to keep it as smooth as possible all the way around. I'm doing a lot more smaller little rings. I do like that cab.
I was just thinking that,
Ooh.
Joseph. Do your fingers get tired, Zeke, doing the cabbing?
Uh, Not until I get to like 20 or 30 of them, or 50 of them before I'm like, oh gosh, I need a break.
The only time my hands hurt
Sometimes
is when I
I'll
use the cold water.
sometimes I'll stop and move everything and circulate just to make sure they don't stiffen up. That's smart. No, I'm all over the place, but cabbing is like one of the only things that I can sit and do for a long period of time without nothing or without anything. I used to sit and just cab for hours and hours and hours.
How hard do you push on the rock? It depends on the exact stone that you're doing.
Stone depends on the wheel, the shape. Well, there's before our final polish. And I put that nice fracture in there by dropping it. I just saw that. But gosh dang it. I'll have to take it over to the. Well, we can do that. Then we'll start on this other one. Everybody really wanted to see that jade. And that was a good one to use the milk and diamond on. Kicking the camera.
Making me seasick, dude.
Get a spray bottle.
Is there a polishing wheel on the end of the cab or on the end of the 6-inch cab machine? It comes standard, right?
Yeah.
What Zeke's working on right now is the wet belt sander.
And I could do this exact same thing on the cab machine, but or spoiled, and I got a wet belt sander. And I like the big leather wheel more.
Do you reapply water on the cerium when it pulls too much?
Yes. So you just see me work in. It'll start to pull a little too much like that, and then I'll take and go with the little bit of water, and then you can see there's too much water on there now, but it'll work off.
Yep.
Gosh, this stuff takes a nice polish.
Oh, sorry. Do what again, Brad? What was Zeke doing? Just does a couple quick spritz of water.
Yep, just a little with the water.
AI thinks that if you're using canvas and diamond over ceram and leather to avoid undercutting, that you should have a hard backer, not foam. Would that mean gluing to the steel directly?
I wouldn't use canvas on a hard material unless you're polishing something that's perfectly flat. But yes, that would be what that means.
And then are you going to show charging the leather?
Oh, I can. This one's already got more than it needs. But you can see a little bit of difference in the domes between a high dome, which would be this one, and a little more of a low dome, or what I would call a standard. That right there. That's that Labradorite cap that we did. All right, let's do. Yeah, what was that one you guys wanted the most next? That jade.
Jade. And then I emailed, for those of you that requested the diagram for adding the expanding drum to the CB6, I've emailed it to you. Would polishing the back of that dendritic cab make it better or not?
I did polish it, but yes, it will make it better. Ooh, that is hard.
The jade.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course, Michael, you got it. Let me. All right, Michael, I
This
sent
is
it to you.
wild. This is some of the Wyoming jade. This was a piece that we offered up on the live event a while ago. I was like, oh, I really want to cut that. Or to get this like apple green almost. It's not quite apple green, but it's approaching.
This is the ultra thin 6-inch blade. Hey, Rachel, how's it going? When you buy a trim set, does it come with a blade? Yes. Very well. Are you pushing against the blade with a chip?
Yes. I'm using it as a guide. I'm just holding it against the side of the blade, especially when I'm cutting a little angle off. Um, because that way I don't bend the blade and it'll warp it.
Charles, I'm assuming you're draining the water on your trim side. I'm gonna guarantee you do because I can tell. Um, and
Yeah,
then well, Charles, like, I don't know. We were watching the shop tour and you can just tell. I don't know. It's a thing. It comes with the thin line blade, I believe, on that 6-inch.
it does.
And I can email it to you, yeah, of course. Sorry, squirrel happens to me. I get wicked just taken off. And then a method to minimize rust on the saw blades.
Um, After you drain it. turn the blade on and let it sling the water off. And then you can take and put a little bit of WD-40 on the sides of the blade.
Elizabeth, for the CB6 you got or the CB8? I forget which one. CB8, that's right. Okay, you got it. Let me. Ooh,
This
that's
is a
awesome.
ridiculously hard piece of jade.
Isn't jade normally on the soft side?
No, jade's always pretty hard, but you can definitely get varying hardness.
What blade would you recommend for an 8-inch trim saw used at a lapidary club, multiple users, 3 days a week? Probably just the standard 8-inch thin line blade.
Yeah, that's probably what I put on it.
How loud is your 80 grit wheel?
Um, Not quiet. Anytime you're doing grinding like this, it's going to be kind of noisy.
Does the
We have
thin
a
line come in 8
fracture.
inch? Yes, it does.
Uh, I'm not pleased with this. We got a fracture right there that I do not like. I was hoping the dome would get rid of it, but it looks like it goes all the way down. Looks like we're gonna have to cut that part off to get rid of that fracture. This is too nice of a piece of jade to leave a fracture in it.
Yes. Let me grab it for you.
And that's still big enough to make a cab out of. We'll glue that up on the Dot Pro and finish that cab too.
Alrighty, I sent those part numbers to you guys that requested it. Oh, I like this cab, Zeke.
Right. Yeah.
And then they wanted to see that dendritic cab after. You're welcome, guys. Anytime. Happy to help.
Yeah, well, I ground a little, cut a little too much off there. But let's turn that back into a semi-teardrop. Oh, that's another piece big enough to make a ringstone out of, or an accent stone.
The CB6 is so cute. Of course. That's what we're here for. It's definitely, lapidary is definitely something you can just get lost in. You know what I mean? Whether you're a sphere cutter, you're a tumbler, you're cabbing, any of that kind of stuff. Is your valve leaking, Zeke?
And it's not leaking. It's just I have the water pressure set way too high. Well, I guess it would be leaking, but only because I have the water pressure set way too high. That's why I keep fidgeting with it.
I do love the water system that you set up, Zeke.
I like it.
It's so much better than the other way. I remember when you finished it and Sherman was like, "Let me know when you're done, dude." And you're like, "Sherman, I'm done." It's like when you clean your room and you want to show your parents, like, "Come look, it's done. Come look. It's
Oh,
awesome."
look.
And nothing's in the closet this time.
Yeah.
That would be the first place my mom would go. And then I finally actually started cleaning up and not shoving stuff in my closet, and she would still go. And I'd be like, "I outgrew that lady."
I
Yeah,
got
under the
better at
bed.
hiding it.
I know. Under the bed, in the closet. It's true. Yeah. I understand my mother's pain now that like I have my own place. Yeah, it does look pretty hard.
Yeah, I'm pushing it out low pretty good. This is a really hard piece of jade.
What girdle are you going to do?
This is going to be a more traditional looking high dome, where it's going to have a steep dome on it. I just have to get it to a shape I like.
That's a good question. So, when polishing the back of the cabs, if the back is flat from a clean cut with the saw, would you just go to the polishing wheel or go through all the wheels like you did with the front of the cab?
I would usually start at, it depends on how smooth the cut is, but I'd usually start at like 220 or 280. Because even a smooth saw cut is still going to need some work.
If you plumb your water and add a pressure regulator, at what pressure would you do for the cabber?
Down to like 10 to 15 psi. Ooh, sorry, slipped.
I love that color though.
Yeah, that was a really good piece of jade.
I've been.
Oh, perfect. There you go. 7 PSI. Probably even better.
All right, Zeke, I've been running the Vesuvianite tumbling pieces through my cab machine, and I noticed the deep scratches when I finish. Is it likely being caused by the 80 grit wheel? Is it safe to skip 80 on that material and go to 220?
Yeah, you could definitely go to 220 on that material.
I do too. Green is my sister's favorite color. You're welcome. If you know you're going to set in a bezel, do you freestyle your girdle? I'm Mark, but I'm still working on getting it even.
It depends on if I'm doing a pre-made setting or if it's not going to be an actual like custom piece of jewelry. Pre-made setting, I'll mark it and I'll have the setting here and like I'll be checking it as I do it. If it's, if you're gonna make a cast for this, or if you're gonna silversmith it, then it doesn't matter because the silver will also be adjusted as you go.
I want to do a wicked Intarsia piece. So I want to do the outside border as pink, the middle with like rainbow obsidian, and then the center with the like green. I was talking with Mel about it the other day. How thick should you cut the slab for a high dome cab?
So on like if you're doing 7 turns for a normal cab, I do like 10 to 12. That's probably 12 right there.
The favorite material to cab? Zeke, do you have a
Like,
favorite material?
if
Turquoise?
I could pick just one, yeah, it would be turquoise. And you can see I've been doing kind of multiple bevels to work up to that dome because it's so high. So there's kind of a mid bevel and then a more, more of that traditional bevel. And we're working it up and up and up.
I don't know. I like cabbing the agates. Zeke is your favorite.
It's
What's your
funny.
favorite kind of turquoise?
Um,
The Rolling
that's a,
Hills.
a really hard Golden Hills.
Oh, Golden Hills. The one with the
That is
brown in it.
one of my favorite turquoises. I don't know that I have a favorite. I like it all.
Please explain girdle.
The girdle is the edge or side of the cab where the metal holds. Ooh, man, I am really kicking the camera a lot tonight.
Um, I heard you have to stabilize turquoise. How is that done? Is that the one that's done in like the vacuum chamber?
Yeah, you don't have to stabilize it. It depends on the turquoise. Um, but yes, that's where you'd be like vacuum sealing it.
Zeke does back his turquoise.
Yeah, it
Um,
depends on the piece. If it's I like getting the thin pieces that nobody else wants because they're thin. And that's kind of how the backing started, and then backing them, and then you're using a lot less turquoise, which is the expensive part, and then yeah, using like JB Wells is what I usually use.
this cab that you're making would look so cool in a ring.
Yeah, this would be a great like chunky ring. Like a big like I picture this as a big
Mm-hmm.
pinky ring.
Yeah. Oh, is Terry on?
So you can see now we got this really high. We're getting it smoothed out. I'll have to bug John about getting some more turquoise.
What material do you use when stabilizing cracks in agate?
Cactus juice or Hextall are usually the two that we use.
Oh, it was chrome oxide, right? With the corn cob thing, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for the polish for the Vesuvianite. They won't fill the cracks though.
No, they're not gonna like. Well, Hextall might, but it's not gonna like fill the cracks. Definitely not cactus juice.
And it's not actual cactus juice, right? It's that's just the name of it.
That's just the name of it.
Alrighty. This is a piece of Wyoming jade.
That's a really great piece of jade.
I don't believe we don't make the long strip, unfortunately to go across the CB8. It comes from Mexico. I thought it was literal cactus juice for the longest time.
And then you can see now I'm doing the back bevel. So you got the top dome, and this helps keep that nice shape, that symmetrical shape, because that ridge is what you're seeing. And this will also make it easier to set in a piece of jewelry. And then we'll put just the slightest dome polish on the back, very, very shallow dome. It is not. At least I don't believe it is. Where you typically see stones like this set is when they make a wax mold of the piece of jewelry, and then they'll cast the metal to set this in. This one, doing this kind of dome though, will definitely test your patience because there's lots of area to get those scratches out.
Yes, Marco. What is the type of felt we use for the caber strips?
Oh, that's a great question. I couldn't tell you what kind of felt it is. I have no idea.
Could you have a cut and chat where you show the entire process for vacuum crack filling an agate?
Yes, as soon as John gets me the setup here, we will do that cut and chat because I have lots of pieces set aside that I want to stabilize. This is also definitely easier to do with Adopt. So even though I'm not doing it with Adopt on there, I'd highly recommend doing this on Adopt Stick.
Two of the wheels on my CB6 wearing out. Do I buy new or have them resurfaced? What are the pros and cons?
I have heard lots of mixed reviews about resurfaced wheels, um, even from the same people. So if it was me, I would just buy a new set because I think it's pretty close to the same price by the time you pay for shipping. To send your old wheels back and forth. So if it was me, I would just go with new wheels. But some people really like the refurbished wheels. Some people hate them. It seems to be all over the place.
Oh, you can retread tires. I didn't know that.
Yeah, a lot of big rig, like semi truck tires and stuff are retreads.
Oh, that's interesting.
That's usually why you see just the tread on the side of the road somewhere where it's blown off.
Really? Oh my goodness, that's a fun fact I am going to share with my friends now because I guarantee they don't know that. See, you learn something new every single day.
There's a great how it's made episode on retreading tires.
I love those things. I love those videos. We used to watch those in science class all the time. Oh, we have six mystery barrels left. This is the CB6 that we're working on.
All right, and now I'm going to show you guys something, a little trick if you got a wet belt sander. This is one of my favorite things about the wet belt sander.
They are working on getting them out of customs. Well, they did get them out of customs. They're gonna get delivered some point next week.
I know that seems like sarcasm, but that is about the accuracy of their updates. We'll see. Sometime next week, maybe.
Yeah.
The lady that we talked to is not overly friendly with that information.
Oh, yeah, she does not like me.
All right. Now on the wet belt sander here, what I'm going to do is, and this is actually better if you take off the backer plate, but I'm going to release a bunch of the tension so the belt is as soft as it's going to get, and it's going to walk all over the place. Be a pain. Let's see. Let me speed this up. But I like because now I can push into the belt a little bit, and it really helps with the flat spots, especially on such a high dome piece.
Oh, that is a good point. Team, can someone reach out to Rachel, please? So for you guys, that are getting the mystery barrels and you're like, oh crap, I need the delivery address changed. Now would be a great time. You can email me, you can email Lizelle, to get those addresses changed for you. Or if you're going to be out of town like Stuart is, um, just let us know. That way I can hold them. Or I know John's coming to pick up. Just anything you guys need to change, like now would be the time to start getting that um emailed over. You're welcome. John Roppel is picking up, I'm pretty sure, right, John? I think he's driving up here. Yes. I thought I remembered that. What would the retail value be of the green jade cab you're working on?
I'll let you know when it's done. I gotta see how good it looks when it's polished.
I don't have an exact time frame as to when they're shipping out, but they are getting delivered here hopefully next week. Yes, exactly, Michael. Here's a question. What do you need to open the mystery barrel when it, sorry that I lost the thing. When it gets here, I'm thinking a manual can opener will be tedious.
No, so they don't weld the lids on. The barrels will have a ring around it with a bolt or a like clamp. Those are the two styles that you see. Um, I would guess that they're going to be the bolt ones, where it's going to have a bolt holding on, so you just undo the bolt and then you can pop the ring off.
How much is the mystery barrel team? It is so we have six left, so one of them is $1,235, and that's for 500 pounds of rock. Shipping is included. Or if you want a pallet of rock, which is four barrels, it's 4,140, and that's with the shipping included. Yeah, before July, Carl. May 21st to 23rd. Yes, John, that'll be fine. You don't have to pay shipping if you pick them up. John, are you
So it
getting
would be a
four?
Then you need to let me know if he's ready to pick up so I can change his invoice.
He said May 21st to the
Yep.
23rd.
Yep. We'll just coordinate that.
those.
Those are gonna all be freight for you guys. Yeah, we'll coordinate. I'll coordinate with him, Lizelle. I sent him an email already with places to stay. Yeah, so all of these mystery barrels are going to be coming freight to you guys. So if you guys have ever gotten crated saws delivered from Estes or ABF or any of those guys, they're going to call you. So if you've never gotten one, here's what's going to happen. This is probably a good thing to talk about. They are going to call you. So they're going to call you to set up a delivery time, and you're going to be like, "Hi, my name's Ed. I'll be home at Tuesday at 2:30. That works for you to come drop off or whatever," or they'll set up an appointment or whatever. Um, They'll come to you, they will drop it off. So, just so everyone is clear, this is something Sherman wanted me to touch upon with you guys. Freight companies are only responsible for dropping it at the end of your driveway. They do not, Team, can you get that cost for Daryl, please? They are not required to go drop it wherever you may want. If your garage is up 500 feet up a steep driveway, they are not required to bring it up there. They are only responsible for at the bottom of your driveway. So, I'm sure if you're, so make sure you have your arrangements in place. I'm sure if you're where you're putting it is at the bottom of the driveway, you could probably throw the driver a tip, like just throw them 20 bucks or something, and help them pallet jack it in there. Most guys are pretty nice. I don't know if you guys are familiar with your drivers, but yeah, they are allowed to leave it at the bottom, curbside drop off. So that's for that one. And for those two, they have a delivery they have a delivery window. So if you get a mystery barrel, don't hold the guy there forever and be like, oh, well, let me go up the driveway and get the thing and I'll come back down to meet you. And then if they're there for an hour, because we get charged for however long they're there extra. Yeah, they love snacks. Feed your driver, give them some cool rocks. Be like, hey, this is an Indonesia. I just got some rock delivered. This is something I made out of them. Go give them a cab and give them $20 or something. It depends on the machine that you're getting. So, Kathy, I know you're looking at a CB6. If you get a CB6, that's a 90-pound machine, so that'll ship UPS. So,
Anything under 150 pounds will ship UPS.
yeah.
Jordan, can you touch base also on the phone call that's not gonna be our control, that's gonna be the control of the shipping company. So if they don't call, that's on them.
Yes, that is on them. So what you guys are
Well,
gonna get, you're gonna get an email in that you're gonna get a number. So it's gonna be a however many digit number. So if it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 is your tracking number, it's gonna either say Estes or XPO or ABF at the end. The name at the end is the name of your shipping company. So if I give Charles his tracking number and Charles's tracking number is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, that's his pro number. So Charles is going to go plug that number into their website to check. And me and Lizelle can help you guys check that stuff out too. Yeah, most of the drivers, they're awesome. Like all of the guys that pick up here, they're pretty much willing to do whatever, even if you're just nice, you know what I mean? So if you go out there and meet them with a smile and you're extra kind or whatever, most of the time they're pretty chill.
I got freight shipments all the time from Highland Park. And well, I didn't know it cost extra, so I definitely cost some. The guy loved the rocks, so he'd come into the garage and I'd show him rocks. And he was always excited. He'd put it in the machines anywhere I wanted. He wasn't required to do that, but I was just real friendly and he was happy to put them anywhere.
Yeah.
Being nice definitely goes a long way. But also, it's only like $75 a day to rent a pallet jack from Home Depot.
Yeah. Or just post up in your if you post up, I don't know if you guys are in any of your local Facebook groups, but if you put in the thing, if you're unable to move it, like just rent a pallet jack and be like, "Hey, I'll pay each person $20 for this project to come help me move this into the garage or something." You know what I mean? And most high school kids will come help you move it.
Well, I also know any of you that are here and that are rock hounds have definitely packed more than 500 pounds of rock into some trunk or truck.
Um, Sharon, have you gotten a crated machine from us before or not yet? Not yet. Okay. Team, you want to mark that down for Sharon so I can check the address out? Is there any idea of the thread size of the feet on a 12-inch precision and the production trim?
I think those might be 10 millimeters.
Would the
That's
barrel fit
definitely,
in a Subaru on the side?
well, I've definitely seen Subarus with 500 pounds of rock in them.
Zeke, are the mystery drums steel?
I don't know. I'd imagine they're going to be, but I don't know. That is a really good piece of jade. Oh, yeah, any of you guys can cut this cab. Just a little bit of practice and patience.
Any concerns with turning off the RL-24 in the middle of a stage for the night and restarting it in the morning?
Nope. I would just make sure it's got enough water in there that it doesn't dry out. Doing little high domes like this is another area that'll make you really appreciate having a shaping machine. I was using the wet belt sander to help me smooth it out and get rid of little flat spots.
What grit was that
The
belt
be
seek?
It was 400 grit.
Why would the cab wheels not?
I mean, you can. It's just harder to get it perfectly smooth on that high of a dome with the cab wheels. So I was just showing it for anybody that's got a wet belt sander, throw that in there. It makes it a little bit easier for doing these high domes. You can do it without the wet belt sander. It's just a little bit more practice and a little bit more patience.
Alrighty, so I was chatting with the team. So for you guys, for you guys that have mystery barrels and you're wondering when the best time to pay it off would be, if you want it to ship right away, I would get those paid off probably within the week so that way they can just ship right out. And you guys will be able to do that through the portal. Perfect.
It's not as smooth as I'd like that.
Sounds good, Jack. I saw the HT14 got delivered. Awesome. You guys are on top of it. I love it. Had the first oil shower today. Oh, I don't miss those yet. I'm sure I'll have one soon. Oh, that's pretty good, Jack. Is there anything other than the wet belt sander or the pad on the end of the cab machine that can be easily used for a final polish? Something I can swap out the pads for different polishes.
I mean the end plates on the cab machine are pretty easy to do that.
Hey, Jeffrey. I do love the oil that we use.
I'm not happy with this cab.
Yeah, I highly doubt you guys are gonna get all one type of material in that mystery barrel. Oh, Jeffrey, you're gonna do great. I do not oil treat my hair. That is a thing, though, that people do. I have not done it yet, though. If you wanted to fix it, what grit would you go back to?
I'd go back to the wet belt sander with the 400.
It's like some kind of hair oil that people use. It was like a whole
Oh,
thing. And for
then
those
I
of
just
us without,
then at least 280 grit. Yeah. A little bit softer stone is actually easier because then the resin will still help you shape it and get it smooth. There are wheels. There's resin wheels that are similar, but they're ones that we make.
you guys are hilarious. Oh, 6 barrels left. How many of you are in trouble with your significant others because of the mystery barrels?
That's
That was
hilarious.
a that was a question me and the team were debating a couple weeks ago. Are they newer wheels or do they not get concave after a while?
No, these aren't new wheels. They've been on here for a while.
You guys are hilarious. They're the Indonesian mystery barrels. Zeke, you want to explain the story of that again?
The mystery barrel was a collection that John looked at of a bunch of mixed rock. He got offered a deal on this, and he was like, "No, it's gonna be too much work to sort out all this rock." And then he was like, "Well, what if we did something crazy?" And so he was like, "Well, what if we offered it up to you guys at a crazy price?" And so we did it as mixed barrels, which was how we were able to get the collection. Because otherwise, we would have just passed on. It been too much mixed rock, but you guys like it in mixed rock. So I was like, oh, well, that's fun. So he's like, we'll just do it at a crazy price.
Do you suspect it's going to have lots of jaspers?
I suspect it's going to be lots of Indonesian material. I have no idea what's going to be in there. I haven't seen anything out of that.
Well, how do you know when to replace the resin wheel?
Well, when I'm doing it, if they start cutting slow, I'm like, all right, time to replace. But you can wear them all the way through the color part of the wheel. So like on this blue wheel, you can use this until you're like running out of blue. All right, let me go grab the milk and we'll do the milk and diamond with you guys. Oh, I guess I should make sure we have diamond powder.
Ed, nobody could ever put you in trouble. You're too sweet. If you really wanted to get in trouble, I suppose Lizelle could give you a call.
That's hilarious.
Lizelle's face, she's like, I could never.
Did I do that?
Did I do that? And you can't get in trouble on your birthday, Ed, so you lucked out. Birthday is a free pass. I tell that to my mom all the time. My birthday was on a Friday this year. So I told her, I'm like, oh, mom, you can't be mean to me from Thursday to Monday. Like it's a whole long, long weekend. You can't be mean to me. And she was
Oh
like,
Lord.
you're getting one day. And I was like, careful, I'm gonna extend it to the whole month.
Extend it to the whole month.
I do love celebrating people's birthdays. I also love making my coworkers uncomfortable by making everyone circle around them and singing happy birthday in the break room.
Jordan did in fact do that.
I do that to all of you guys. I didn't really give Zeke the choice last year to not go to lunch for his birthday.
Yes, it's because you
Well,
know me so well and I would not have gone.
I know. We have six mystery. Yeah, my mom does not. She's such a sweet lady. The mystery barrels, let me go back up to the comment, are gonna be mixed barrels that came out of this old timers collection in Indonesia that John got. Team, you want to post the price for them in the chat for me, please? Oh, you guys are so good. Um, so the mystery barrel, we have six left. So it is $1,235 for a single barrel of rock, and that includes shipping for you guys. So $950 for the barrel plus $285 for shipping. Or if you want a pallet of four sorry, if you want a pallet that includes four barrels, that is just 3,000. That is 4,140. So 3,000 for the four barrels and 1,140 in shipping. We did not keep any for ourselves. We are giving the opportunity to you guys. That was kind of the whole point, the whole reason John got them. Yeah. Little over $2 a pound for material. That's pretty good.
Yeah, when I mentioned it, John was like, "How many years worth of cutting do you have sitting upstairs?" You know.
How do you get one order? You can just put it in the chat, Steve, however many you want. The team will mark it down for you, and
Heck,
then they'll
grab all
invoice
six.
you.
You know.
I know. They'll invoice it out for you, and then you can pay through the portal. I know how many of you guys feel like Santa Claus is coming to town, except it's just gonna be the delivery driver pulling up.
Oh, I don't know where my diamond toothbrush is.
It's not underneath one of the buckets underneath the cab machine.
Hell, it might be. Usually it's over there by the spare machine.
Steve wants a barrel team. So the egg wheels that are on the website go to our shaping machine, which I really like the shaping machine. I think it's so cool. So,
It is a really cool
um,
machine.
what do you do? So you just to make the egg, do you just put the wheel on the machine with your rock that you want to make into the Cindy wants a barrel team. Like you put your rock in there. What did you just do?
Nothing.
What did you just sip?
A little bit of the milk before I put the diamond in it.
Okay. Stuart, I think you're gonna regret it if you don't get a second barrel. I just looked over and Zeke was taking a sip out of a cut cup. I was like, what is he doing?
Well, I had a little too much, and I was like, where do I pour this? I don't know where my toothbrush went, but normally I'd use a toothbrush for this. I'll use a little plastic spoon though.
Alrighty, there's two more barrels left. Is the canvas new?
No, I've used this many, many times.
Yeah, Chantel got milk on Monday for us.
Well, that's probably a little on the excessive side, but
If you have new canvas, is the preparation different? Do you have to put more on the first time?
not really. We might have to use a little bit more, but not much.
What's the mixture, Zeke? They can't see.
Oh, sorry. I thought you guys could see what I was doing. I just took and poured some in there. There was no official measurement, about a spoonful full. And I'm just mixing it in, and it kind of turns the milk gray. Definitely don't take a sip now.
You scared me. I looked over. I was like, you're bold.
Well, I mean, probably wouldn't kill you to drink diamond powder, but I wouldn't recommend it. It certainly is not good for you.
The diamond powder suspends better in the milk.
Yeah, you want whole milk.
Is there a felt for a wet belt thinner? Yes, I'm pretty sure. Do you need the SKU
Yes.
mark? Yep, 50,000 grit diamond. Can you use glycerin as well?
I would think that would be too thick. All right, since I don't have my toothbrush, I'm gonna go with the dipping method.
That's how I do it, Ed. When I cook all of my recipes that I cook for my friends, like we used to do dinner together on Tuesday nights or Sunday nights. Like I make this chicken parm and it's phenomenal. And they're like, "Oh my goodness, write down the recipe." I'm like, "I'm just gonna have to shoot you a video because I don't ever measure it out." There's one barrel left. Roxanne, is that correct? And Lizelle?
No,
Two,
it's two
Two.
barrel.
You want to just edit your message for me, please? Thank you. Oh yeah, you can't wing it when you're baking. Unfortunately. So are you dipping the stone, like the face of the stone in the milk?
Yeah, what I'm doing is ideally I'd have a toothbrush to do this with. I'm just taking it and kind of rolling it around in there so I get some milk and diamond on it. And then I'm doing it. I have the CB8 set to 1 on the dial there.
How much diamond to milk? This is a piece of Wyoming jade.
About enough that you can see it floating in there and it turns the milk gray. See, the problem is that I was taught by people like John, who also use no actual measurement. They go, yeah, that looks about good. So I honestly couldn't tell you what the official measurement is.
You can just rinse this, like rinse the canvas, like rinse the canvas underwater.
Yeah, spray it with a spray bottle. You really can't smell it. That's what everybody's always worried about, the smell. You can't smell it.
I can attest to the fact you really can't.
And Jordan is somebody that would be very sensitive to if this smelled like rotten milk.
Yes. Believe me, you guys would never hear the end of it if Zeke had a rotting milk pad in our studio here. Never hear the end of it. So, no, it does not smell at all. Because I know there's a lot of people in here like I don't know that I can do that. Never. What materials work best with this method? That's a good question. The Rosetta lace works really good with this. The jade, Zeke's done this and another locality of the jade before. Um, the Vesuvianite would you use for this?
Oh, 100%.
Bumblebee jasper is good with this. Lapis lace is good for it. So the
Speaking of
cerium,
lapis too,
yeah. So the cerium mainly is, yeah, you would do it for softer materials. The leather and cerium I use for pretty much anything else but other soft, but anything like hard, I use the leather and cerium for. So like doing agates with the leather and cerium.
anything with a more porousy texture would be another good way to think about this. Because like Cherry
Mm.
Creek is one that is just a lot of people for a long time said it wouldn't take a polish or anything higher than a matte finish. This just does so well.
Leopard skin jasper, yes, would be one.
Leopard skin will take a good
No.
polish with just cerium and leather, but yeah, this will do a great job on it too.
No, they are different, Kathy. Um, do you need to
All right,
replenish
let
the
me.
diamond a lot, or once it's loaded, you could do a few stones? Yeah, it's once it's loaded because you're stirring it, right?
Yeah, well, you can see like that little batch of milk there. I could sit and do a whole batch of stones. I think olive oil would be too thick. I don't know. I've a lot of people like will kind of come up with other ideas. I don't I don't know any of them that have worked better than the milk and diamond. They've been around a long time.
Monica wants a barrel.
So now we're
Ruby's
down to the
always
last
is
one.
another. Yeah, that might be a good one too. Is it a hook and loop canvas attachment?
No, that's glued on. I didn't make this one though.
Alrighty, so officially there's one barrel left to sell, right, Lizelle? Because Monica just took the one of the other ones.
Yep,
All right.
one left.
Oh, that's a nice polish on there. So if you're thinking about a mystery barrel, now would probably be the time to jump on it. That's awesome.
Yeah, I'm pretty happy with how that turned out. I would probably do it a little bit more on the buffing there. Actually, I probably would take it back to 400 grit and redo the whole thing, but if it was a little bit smoother, I'd put 125 bucks on that cab. That good a jade. That is a ridiculously hard piece of jade.
On my big King Cobra sphere, should I polish with serum or diamond? That big piece that David got Zeke with those big orbs that John had the boys cut.
Probably diamond. You just mix up enough for however much you're going to use, because once it's done, like you could put it in the fridge and use it for a couple days, but you don't want to be using milk that's rotten. So, ooh, slippery little thing. All right. I feel like we should do one on the dop stick for you guys. I guess you could freeze it. You guys want to see another cool piece of jade while we're oohing and ahhing at jade? And I got the light handy. I know a
Ed
couple.
does. Oh, God.
I know a couple of you guys already seen this one, but this blue jade sphere makes me so happy.
Ed, does that make sense what I said? Yes, exactly. Yep, you got it. Perfect. All right. Oh, that's awesome.
Get the light
Guatemala,
right.
right? That's from
Yeah. Yes. Good job. Yeah. Really nice blue.
500 pounds to a barrel.
But that
Thanks,
jade sphere
Michael.
makes me very happy. I love jade.
That was Blue Jade from Guatemala.
Yeah, the sphere. All right.
Yeah, whenever we talk about the milk and diamond method, and you guys are talking about how you would milk cows, all I think of is the one time I milked a cow and I almost fainted.
It's fun.
Oh, that's exciting. Is that acetone that you're using?
Yeah, I'm just cleaning up the screw. And then that little piece we cut off the corner. I see far too many people going, well, that's not big enough to make a cab. So we'll make a fun little cab with this little cut off piece. Because that'll still be a nice cab. And I cut plenty of them that are smaller than that. We used to do, I used to do cabs where you literally have to take a toothpick and a razor blade and I'd cut the end off so that it was um, flat and then glue a stone to it.
What's this? We don't carry the diamond powder at the moment, unfortunately.
Not yet. It is gel super glue.
You guys learning a lot tonight.
And don't worry about your screw. We're going to grind that down. Oh,
Awesome.
I feel like the screw is a little too gunky. wipe the
I
glue off.
don't I don't think so, Ed. Do you use an accelerant?
Shouldn't need to. We'll do that little. Because if you think about when we do the intarsia pieces, how fast they glue up. So I took it over to the intarsia machine and made it a much smoother surface.
Oh, I like that idea. That is a great question. Zeke, you want to explain the Intarsia machine? That is Zeke's newfound love.
Oh my goodness.
What?
The intarsia machine. So this is the intarsia machine. It is a basically that's a lap stood up with a deck on here that's very precise so that we can grind in exact angles to make little mosaic cabochons. And as soon as Jordan's done, I'll have her grab one of the intarsia pieces so you guys can see what a piece of intarsia is because it's basically like a little mosaic of stones.
We do not have any refurbished 6 inches at the moment. I'm
We actually
coming.
might.
Um, well, they have to go through the Tay approval process.
Hey, Lizelle, will you remind me to look at the if what we got in refurbs?
For Intarsha.
Yeah, see, for any of the machines. Yeah, see, grinding that down and flattening the screw. Now I'm like, that's a good bond right there.
Yeah, I think Jordan answered this in one of the threads that we don't have any refurbish at the moment.
I
Okay.
did.
Yeah.
Here, can I get in here for a second?
Yep. So those are intarsia pieces where we cut different angles to put all those different little stones together.
Yeah, it helps you get precise angles on there.
All
With all the
right.
different jigs, you can do different angles.
And then the screw, this is our dot pro kit. The screw goes into the handle there. So now we have a nice oh thank you. That was my very first intarsia piece. Um Now we got a nice handle to do our dopping with. Because we were talking about making ringstones tonight as well.
So once you're done with the backing on your Intarsia piece, you can go to the cab machine, and you start to grind it down and get your dome and then your polish on it. Turns into cabbing after that.
Yeah, once everything's assembled, then he's just making a cab.
We do not carry just the handle of the Dot Pro kit, unfortunately. It comes as the whole set with the handle, the wrench and the
The
whole
nylon board with all those
the
screws.
board. Thank you. Couldn't remember.
All right, we're gonna do a style of cab that I is kind of an old school style that I really like,
Yes, he is.
which will be perfect for this little trim
Thanks, Anthony.
piece.
Oh, someone, I think it's Susan. I don't know if Susan Parody's still in the room. She found this set screw size, I believe. If you guys need that. I can also probably check my messages. Oh, all done with those mystery barrels.
That's crazy.
Yeah, you can pick them up at the hardware store. Can you polish opal with the milk and diamond method, Zeke?
Yeah, you could. I was like, why is it not holding? Because I tightened the set screw down, not on the screw.
Oh, Jeffrey, I'm so jealous. I'm holding myself. I am on a no sweets kick.
Like 78 or 80 or something around there.
They're gonna get those invoices out relatively quick after tonight. Usually they pop up in the portal 24 to 48 hours after the live event. Of course. I like these nights to actually be able to sit down and look up questions and get answers for you guys.
It's been so long since I've actually used a dop stick.
You know, the last time you probably used one, I'm guessing here, but when I did my first calibrated cab on the Dot Pro,
Probably.
which is a year and a half ago, maybe. Thank you, Susan. Team, can you mark down what Susan put in the chat, please? What do you call that shape other than ringstone?
I don't know what the official name for this is, but you can do this the other direction too. Basically, I'm doming all the way over two sides, and you can do it front to back or side to side. And then the other two sides, I'm just doing a little bevel straight polish up.
Hey, Andy.
Barrel would work. This is just a style that you used to see cabs like this all the time, and you don't really see this style anymore. But they were just as popular as any other shape I did when I was cutting cabs. You know what's funny too is a lot of people hate cutting these little cabs. So your cost of material, like your price, what you get out of the material, you get way better for your material because there's almost no material in this stone, and it wouldn't necessarily sell for a whole lot less.
Yeah, if I were to do big batches of cabs, I do all my cabs, like everything like on one wheel. Like I do all of my shaping first, and then once I'm done with the shaping on all the cabs, go to the next wheel, do all the cabs on that wheel.
Yeah.
Uh, that's how I would do it. You guys are asking some great questions tonight. The first two ones are plated. And then now he's on a resin. It's a 280 resin, I think, right?
Yes.
Can you use milk with cerium? No, I don't believe it's gonna work if you use it with cerium.
You just don't need it.
Soft resin.
Yeah, there's a soft resin wheels.
Thanks, Stacey. That is a great question, Patrick. Where's the best place to get the 50,000 diamond powder?
I just ordered it off of Amazon, but eventually we'll carry it.
Yep, so this machine that Zeke's working on, all the wheels on here come standard on this machine. So you get two
Yeah, so
plated, an 80 and a 220, and then your resin it's I forget the progression. I know it starts
280,
with 280,
600,
1200, 3000.
1200. Yep. Yep.
Okay. I'll get it.
Uh,
I'm determined to get it one day. Yeah, so if you guys want the you're welcome, Kathy. If you guys want the tool that Zeke's working with, the Dot Pro kit, um, the team can get you guys put down for that.
It is not expensive at all.
Is there such a thing as a 50,000 grit wheel?
Yeah, we sell
Would that work like
them.
the Milk and Diamond?
We actually have 8,000, 14,000, and 50,000, which we hardly ever talk about. Wheels. On some materials it would work just as good, some it wouldn't.
Zeke uses super glue. The cabs that we were selling the other night are one of John's buddies in Indonesia that cuts them. So you just super glue the back of your stone to the screw. You're welcome, Brad, anytime. Tay loves this 6-inch machine.
It is a good machine.
Brady, my 8-year-old nephew, loves to point out the fact that there are DD size things. So me, I'm DD. He's like, there are you machines here and there's me machines. So he claims the 12SS and the CB6 are his size machines. So they were made for him. What is the trick on the glue?
A little bit of acetone, and then like I was having trouble with this one sticking to the screw, so I took it over to the Intarge machine. You could also do this on the wheel, and I ground it down a little bit so it was a little bit cleaner of a surface to stick to. Did I just do 1200 or 600?
Oh, I have no idea.
Ooh, that hasn't happened in a while. Okay, thank you. I was like, I know someone's paying attention. Is this helpful for you guys? Awesome. I love that. If you get a little glue residue on the back there, I just take a razor blade and scrape it off. Hey, if you guys are loving and enjoying what we're doing and this is helpful, we would really appreciate it if you would leave us a 5-star Google review. They really do help us out and they help more people find us so that we can keep sharing. Oh, awesome. Thank you. All right. Let's go do the milk and diamond on this one. I also really like one of the reasons I also like doing that shape is it cuts really fast. It's a very easy shape to do. We'll come back over here to our milk. Yeah, I like doing turquoise a lot. All right. Let me go wash that up, but it looks like the polish is pretty darn good on there. Ooh, kicking the camera again. Yeah, some of the traditional stones are they'll always be popular. Things like jade and turquoise. And lapis. There's just some things that are just very classic. Tiger eye. You can see it just lights up like crazy with that light. Sure did take a nice polish. Yeah, we'll just take that and throw it in a little thing of acetone, and then take a razor and scrape off any excess glue. Yeah, that would be a fun little ringstone. Yeah, I'm a big fan of doing this shape where you get the two sides rolled up. And you can do it lengthwise, so you roll it this way and then do your sides coming up like this. A tricky one because that one's going to be very sharp corners to stick it in. I've actually seen these set where people will take and run a bezel, like a prong setting, up the ends like this and have it pinch in there. But yeah, prongs do really good with it. Little cast setting. I know that there's wire wrappers out there that could also incorporate that, although that's way beyond my wire wrapping skill. But you can see just how small that stone really is. It is funny, like you hold it up to a cab like that, and you're like, gosh dang, that is small. Yeah, that's really good color in that jade. Awesome. Oh, better turn the water off before we're spilling too much. What else you guys want to do tonight? We could cut some more stones. We could go do tote. Could slab some stuff up. Jordan could take a whack at doing a ringstone.
That's sweet.
Oh, thank you.
I am sizing it up. Yes. I was like, oh, what finger would I put that on? But I feel like I would love obnoxious size rings. Like when I get engaged, I want a massive marquee ring.
We have not gotten well, I Jordan and I have not gotten an update on the moonstone. I haven't talked to John about it yet. Oh, I have something. So John bought a personal piece, a piece for him. You guys want to see it? He's over at the factory, so he had it sent to me, so that it could be, we could cut it. But I gotta show you this piece. It's so cool. This may be one of the nicest pieces of coral I've ever seen.
You guys are funny.
It is just like so stupidly good. Chantel was like, "So when do I get a heart out of this piece?"
What was the surprise last night?
Oh, I can't tell
Hmm.
you till Saturday.
What's Saturday?
I can't tell you. It's a surprise.
Do I even know?
No,
Why can I not know?
because it's a surprise. So there you can see this big hunk of coral that doesn't look anything too extraordinary. Oh, come on. Let's focus and get close. Look at every cell as a little agate
Oh,
fortification.
oh, that's insane. Thanks, Kent.
This thing is freaking awesome. It's going to take a lot of willpower not to be like, well, John, it slipped into the core drill and I did it. I have no idea. John definitely would not tell me because then I'd end up selling it before we got to cut it. But we'll cut a ball out of that. Probably one decent sized one right there, and then maybe two or three small ones, or one decent size and then slab with the rest. I know John would be like, dude, what were you thinking even showing it? It is just so good. Yeah, I definitely have to get permission to cut that before I go ham on that piece. This is a piece that if John lets me cut it, he'll probably be standing over my shoulder supervising,
Yeah.
right? Can you imagine if we got a ton of that?
That's
Oh, I'm
Indonesia.
drooling. Yeah. So far, I've only seen this one piece. All right. So if you got an HT saw, I had some questions about adjustments on this, but so I figured we just cover it quick because it's easier if I have you guys in the Zoom room here. But this is your release handle back here, so I push that and move it forward so that we can show this. But the carriage just slides on the top of these rails, and then it's got bearings underneath, and they sit on a little pivot. So if you imagine the bearing underneath there, there's a set screw that comes down and pushes it up, which is what this wrench is sitting in. There's two more over here. And so if it's adjusted too tight to the rail, it can make it really hard to move. Or if it's too loose, then you got, slop in your carriage. This one's actually adjusted really good at the moment because I can feel it roll smooth and I don't feel any play in there. But how I adjust these is I stick my hand underneath and I move that little bearing back and forth. And what I want is it so that I can move it a little bit with my finger. Let's see. Uh, So I should be able to move it just a little bit with my finger, but there should be some tension on there. Although this one is a little mucky. There's a little rock chip in there. There we go. So I'll take it and move that bearing back and forth with my finger, and I'll adjust to tighten it down until it just starts to touch. And you do that on all three. There's one right here, and then if you move the vise over, I'm gonna move the camera because it's a pain to do that with the camera right there. Trying to reach around. So then there's another one right there and another one back down there. You can see the set screw down there where it's sitting. And then the other thing to keep in mind is as you get rock chips and such in here, it will gum these up quite a bit. So you want to make sure you're wiping off the rails, spraying, get a spray bottle with some mineral oil, spray it down. And then the other thing I like is to use, you can use white lithium grease, but I like dry lubricant. WD-40 sells, it's not just regular WD-40, but the WD-40 brand sells a dry lubricant spray. And you want to spray it on all of the moving parts. So the rails for going back and forth, the threaded rod, the rails here, and your rod here, your feed screw. One of the other questions somebody asked the other day, yep, the only movement, because if you take the little bearing blocks off the bottom, the whole carriage just lifts up. There's nothing else holding it to these rails. It's just those three bearings that hold like the carriage to these rails. Without those three bearings, the whole thing just lifts off. Um, but someone asked this too, if vice gets stuck on these saws, what you want to do is push on it while you push the release handle, and then you can pull it. Sometimes the feed mechanism will grab onto the threads tight, or it'll bind just a little bit, and so you just need to get it to release. But usually pushing on it while you pull the release handle fixes that problem. But spraying the rails down will also help it run a little bit smoother with that dry lubricant. All right. Any questions while I'm standing here? If not, I think we'll go for a spin and call it a night. Unless you guys got other machine questions, I'm happy to answer any questions you guys have. What size saw do you have, Kimberly? Is it an H? Is it one of our saws? 20 inch. Oh yeah, you'll have no problem using any of the grippers we sell in a 20 inch. And then if you guys do have an HT 12 or 14, we do have these retro plates where you can mix it so you can put the gripper right on there instead of putting it in the vise, which I think is a pretty cool upgrade. I appreciate that, Robin. Oh, you know what, James? I haven't got an update on that. I need to ask John about that. Damn, y'all want to mute Jordan? She always is saying that when I'm like, "Will you unmute me?" She's like, "Zeke would like to stay muted."
Hey, I do say that.
You
It's back
do.
to normal now.
Yay. All right. Well, I think we should give another rock away and call it a night. Unless I'm, Team, you want to make sure I didn't miss any questions while I was standing there because Jordan wasn't looking at the chat. She was logging back in.
It's all
I
good,
saw
Z.
the,
All right.
perfect.
Well, that was a really fun cut and chat tonight. That was a good topic to hit. I think you guys learned a lot. Um, and if you didn't learn a lot, I hope you learned at least one new thing. I know I learned that you can rethread tires or retread.
Rethread.
Retread tires. Sorry, we were talking about the threadable USD tips. Retread tires. So we had a lot of fun tonight. We'll be doing tote tomorrow. If there are any certain materials you guys want to hit, shoot the team an email, and we will be prepping all day tomorrow.
Awesome. Thanks, y'all. We appreciate you guys.
Thanks, everyone.